Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 446, we're going to talk about Vilis, Broker of Blood. But first, I want to give a shout out to my local play group. They endured this deck last night, and it was ridiculous. Yeah. I did specifically wait until turn 11 to go off, because as Sheldon says, anything that happens after turn 10 is fair game. And I was allowed to untap with Vilis and a couple other cards because I knew they would get destroyed over the course of this, 6-person turn cycle. But anyway, Vilis is an 8/8 for 8, aesthetically pleasing. Flying Demon, of course. That black mana pay 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Doesn't look like it's much, but it does matter. Whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. Now, yeah, it feeds itself. You spend a mana and 2 life to give a creature -1/-1 and draw 2 cards. That is outstanding. And I have a lot of synergies built into the deck, but there were times when I crutched and I couldn't draw or I couldn't pay or whatever, or I had another land on top of the library, and so I would use his ability to pay the 2 life, give something -1, draw those 2 cards, and have a different top card of the library. The reason why I'm so concerned with the top card of the library is the other all-star of the deck is Bolas' Citadel. This card is, I had Bolas' Citadel out and Vilis, and I was allowed to untap 10 swamps. So, yeah. I love Bolas' Citadel. This is the first deck where I've ever actually abused it. I think I've put it in a couple. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's in a couple recently. Maybe not. But this deck right here has sold on me simply because of the amount of just good old-fashioned card draw that there is, and how the game last night went. Had the Citadel, had the Vilis, and I drew into a Scourge Familiar, which lets me, it's like the old days, right? It lets me start ditching those cards that I've been accumulating in my hand for black mana. Also, I was able to storm out and kill, of course, it's target players, not each player. So I was able to storm off and kill 1.5 players. I had one player down so low in life that I was down so low in life, I was able to get down to 6, and then once that he was down to 6, I was able to swing with my season, which, by the way, is insane. At the beginning of... Yeah, we know what it says, but what it says to us in this deck is at the beginning of your upkeep, lose 2 life, draw 4 cards. Okay. So, and then I was able to kill the rest of the table with a Psychosis Crawler. Yeah, I didn't actually see the other parts of the combo. I did not see the Aetherflux Reservoir, which would have been amazing. Because the way the Reservoir is worded, whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you cast this turn. It looks back. So if I had played this as my 21st spell, I would have gained the 20 life. So, yeah. I've always wanted to animate this thing and give it lifelink so that you can anyway. But I never saw the Necropotence, which is... Oh no, I did see the Necropotence. I did. It didn't... I saw it in the middle of that one big monster turn. And what I used Necropotence for was another one of those get that land off top of my library cards. Because I could pay a life to set the card aside and draw a card, so technically that's 2 cards gone, 1 to the hand and 1 I'll get at the end of turn. which didn't really happen because the game was over by then, but it's all good. Necropotence, strong magic card. I'm glad they made Vilis to help us use our Necropotence a little more, unfairly. And then this one I think will be good. I never really, I never drew it, never saw it. The Mystic Pizza Oven. Yeah, if it's you may cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact card or a colorless non-land card, and then you get to clear the mechanism. Sorry, that was a Billy Chapel phrase. It's my very favorite movie. But anyway, pay 1 life to exile top card of the library. Like I said, clear the mechanism. So, let's look at ramp, because, Vilis is 8 mana, and he's starting off in the command zone, so it's a little different. And I have got a ton of it. Soul Ring, Plague Mirror. Colony Gen did work because the 2 lands it put back in my hand, I was able to pitch to the familiar to still get the mana that turn out of. Phyrexian Totem that never turns into a creature. Kozilek's Channeler, Leaden Mirror, and you want to talk about awesome. Paradise Plume in this particular deck is awesome. Play a spell that shows, play a black spell, gain a life, and you just pay. Oh, it's beautiful. Mind Stone, Mana Prison, Scuttlebutt, it produces a black. Prismatic Lens, Alloy Mirror, Phyrexian Lens. Hey, this is not bad either, right? Tap, pay a life, draw a card, get a mana. Seems good. Guardian Idol. Yes, I'm even running Meteorite because, sometimes there's random 2/2s that just need to go. And then Dark Ritual and Bubbling Muck. Bubbling Muck is legit no joke either. High Tide for Swamps is beautiful. Well, sorcery speed, but... And then let's look at our card draw. Now, yes, the very first thing we all saw or thought of when we saw Vilis was Sign in Blood. I know I did. Sign in Blood is an amazing card. 2 mana to draw 4 cards. That's beautiful. Of course, Read the Bones, Night's Whisper, Damnable Pact, Dark Tutelage, right? This is not bad. Dark Tutelage is really good. I don't own a Bob, so ad nauseum. What are we even talking about? This was a card generating card right here, and it fills up the hand substantially so. Yeah. And check this out. I love it. Infernal Contract, 3 mana, pay half your life, draw 4. Wow. You want to talk about some card draw. If you just got to do it, I mean, if you look down and you're at 40, if I'm at 40 and I draw an Infernal Contract and Vilis is on the table, you better believe I'm drawing 24 cards. Then I do have Diabolic Tutor, Demonic Collusion, and I'm trying this new Scheming Symmetry. It actually worked for me last night. I was able to... because here, the downside with Scheming Symmetry is, well, your opponent's going to get their card first. I actually chose the player who was next in line behind me. But if it goes to the top of your library and you've got Bolas' Citadel out, it doesn't really matter now, does it? So, now let's look at the other fun goodness. Now, I put an unspeakable symbol in there just in case I needed a way to, well, draw cards. This probably should be in the card draw section because I'm paying 3 life. I don't care what the effect is to draw 3 cards. Zombie Infestation is another way to put all of those cards in hand to good use. Now, granted, we don't have a haste enabler. Would be probably a really good deck for an Achromos Memorial because you could just literally win that turn out of nowhere to the Zombie Infestation. And in this particular deck, you don't really care that it's 7 mana. You're like, oh, it's going to cost me 7 life. I don't care. Soren's Vengeance, I'm running just because it's super funny. 7 mana to deal 10 damage and gain 10 life. Now, more than likely, the beautiful part here is we're going to pay 7 life to cast it. Right? So we get a... Yeah. Elixir of Immortality and Felden's Cane, I was scared I was going to draw out. Darkness is just a good card that nobody sees coming. Everybody jokes about people having fog, but nobody thinks about Darkness and Holy Day. Right? Hex Parasite, it is because... Excuse me, my phone is transforming. Let me turn that down. Hex Parasite, just because... Hey, we just left Ravnica, folks, and apparently Ravnica equals Planeswalkers now. So, it is what it is. Library of Lang, of course we want to keep those cards. Raise Dead is a free buyback for Vilis if he hits the yard and you happen to have the Raise Dead in hand. So, because if they kill Vilis too many times, it's just going to be hard to recoup from that at 8 mana. That's why I've got the Raise Dead and I have the Command Beacon. Blight Beetle, I'll be honest with you. I'm running Blight Beetle because +1/+1 counters are so dominant in my meta. It really is. There are better options for Agonizing Siphon. There's Deal 4, Gain 4. There is, all kinds of other ones. But I was in the M20 binder and I had the shiny, and y'all know me. Lightning Greaves, gotta protect Vilis, because my favorite Vilis thing that has come out of M20 so far is what you're talking about, Vilis. And then this is a card I have loved forever. I played way back. I don't think I have it in any Commander decks yet. Well, until now. But the beautiful part is that any player may pay 5 life during their turn to destroy the dungeon. Well, the beautiful part here is you choose and discard a card. Target player chooses a card in his or her hand and puts that card on top of the library. So we're amassing cards. But what happened is you're going to be drawing all these cards and no chance to cast them for the free, for the life payment, off the top of the library. So you can discard a swamp, choose yourself, put that card back on top of your library, so then you can cast it with Bolas' Citadel. This was a heck of a find. I love the card, always have, and it just fit with what we're trying to do with this deck. And once you pass the turn, it's getting popped off, but there's a good chance game's over that turn. Now let's look at some removal, which there's a ton of, because if you'll notice, there's not a whole lot of creatures in this here deck. So we have got Doomblade, Murder, Dismember. Yes, I had the 3 mana, but I paid the 1 and the 4 life just to draw the 4 cards while killing that creature. Every time. Corrupt can also be a win condition. Grant you that. Especially when you pay 6 life, get it off the top, and it deals like 12. So that's beautiful. Extinction, it's like here the past year or two, they've really started encouraging tribes, and, quite frankly, I'm guilty as well, because I love me some tribal stuff. Terror. Tendrils of Corruption, same as Corrupt, but it only hits a creature. Fleshbag, Merciless, Life's Finale, Diabolic Edict. Oh, check this out. Ashes to Ashes exiles 2 creatures, and you draw 5 cards. What? And then our last non-land card, anyway, is Font of Agonies. Because every time we're using Bolas' Citadel, we're paying life. Put that many blood counters on the font. Remove 4 counters. And keep in mind, we don't have to sacrifice the font. That's beautiful. To just, 187 a creature. So that's beautiful. Now we get into our non-basic lands. Now, I have an Evolving Wilds, and I know you're thinking, why are you running Evolving Wilds? For a shuffle effect. Just straight up for the shuffle effect. And I thought about running the Terramorphic and maybe some of the panoramas and whatnot, but I just settled with the Evolving Wilds to get the shuffle, because what breaks the chain is that second land popping up in a turn on top of your library. So that's why I have the Wilds. You just play it and let it chill. It'll solve your problem later. Encroaching Waste, there are some really powerful lands out there, and we need a way to Temple of the False God just for the mana ramp aspect, the Cycling Desert, Hall of the Bandit Lord, because why not give him haste and draw 3 cards while playing your Blight Beetle or whatever. And then our last land, is the, man, I loved the purple lands way back when. Oh man, the special lands were like purple and stuff, the little border around them. But Lake of the Dead, great, outstanding card. And if you, it's hard to be responsible once you get it early. If you've got Lake of the Dead in your opening hand, man, it is hard for me to be a responsible Magic player. It really, really is. But that is the deck. I forgot one. Of course, y'all know that. But I had a ton of fun playing the deck. It's probably going to be one of those 6-month decks, though. I'm pretty sure the members of my play group will probably be thankful that it's probably a 6-month deck. And what I mean by that is some of the ones that I build are just accidentally or on purpose so powerful that I'm only going to play them every 6 months. I don't want to, I try to bring a different group of decks every Friday when we play for EDH night. So and the last thing I want to do is, there's got another busted deck. So, well, Vilis is out there. We are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are halfway through the 12 legends from this set. So that's awesome. I got a question about the line of post-it notes here. That is, I have listed everything here over on Architect. And from here all the way down to the other run of, here, all of those I still have yet to list on Architect, which, by the way, this deck list is on Architect. Now, I've done some spotty ones here and there as I've just gotten cards that's like, oh, it'd be perfect for this deck, and I've got to do it. Like, there's another one up there. But, so, trying to, as I retool those decks or get better stuff for them, I'll go ahead, make the changes, and then list it on Architect. So, that is what I have got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think, and I think right now we're going to shuffle and cut.